Alrighty, and we are back recording my tool cart video now after the Snap Unbox tour. So this is what I use on a day-to-day basis, kind of how I have it set up. I know I was watching a couple other videos and got some ideas from how other people were running their setups, and I've changed this setup in here probably at least a dozen times. Just as I accumulated more things, it just reorganized to better condense everything to make room. Seeing as this isn't the biggest cart, obviously you got to make do with what you have. But for about $200, this is a great starter for anyone getting into kind of this industry or whatever. It's held me up so far. It's been almost a year, and I definitely, as you can see, don't really take care of it too well. And the lock is kind of broken on here, so it doesn't lock very well. But I mean, I could replace it if I want to. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So we'll get into this. Under here, I just keep a bunch of random extra paint, spray dye, cleaner, brake fluid, tape. The jug I usually keep for water. Dump it on it to clean. If I make a big mess in an engine bay or something, just pour a bunch of water. Some red grease, just random sprays and stuff you use, carb cleaner and contact cleaner. And here's stuff that I use more on a day-to-day basis. This is chain lube for the forklifts, free lift chains. Penetrating lube, use that a whole lot on these. Some red grease. This is inner slide lubricant for the slides on the mass of forklifts. And some more penetrating lube. Use a ton of that working on these things, a lot of seized bolts. So we'll get into the tour now. So right away, I know it is a little bit messy, but this is kind of my socket setup, obviously. I have my screwdrivers on the sides here. I used to have them in a drawer, but this works a lot better. Takes up a lot less room on the sides here. So I have all my my Phillips on this side. And unfortunately, I don't clean these as much as I should, but at least it looks like I use them right. So yeah, I picked up this Matco set. Matco's screwdrivers are hands down one of the best. I've used my coworkers. He's got a couple odd and end snap-on ones, and the instant crimp is nice, but this tape here, I mean, you can get a lot of torque on these without. They do say they're the best or highest torque or something in the industry. So I do highly recommend them. I mean, you pay for what you get, and then in this industry, everyone knocks people spending a shitload of money on tool truck tools and stuff. But when you do this full time, 40 hours a week for 40 years plus or more, you got to have quality tools. So that's why I take pride in having quality tools, and I don't mind spending the extra money on them because the warranty is great. I don't have to mess around with warranting anything, and there is a difference in quality. If you don't ever use tool truck tools and all you use is what you have at home, and you've never used them or worked full time on this, you don't have the knowledge to say which's better or not, which is I think what a lot of people do. But anyways, so I got a couple picks that I use on a pretty frequent basis. My one hose pick, bigger hose pick, for coolant hoses and stuff. This is I bought from Matco. This is really nice to have. It's got a magnet on the end, and then if you push this down, the spring down, it's got a little claw. So that saved me quite a few times when you drop some nuts or bolts or something. That'll save you in a pinch. So a couple flashlights here. Normally those other two flashlights I showed you in the other box are in here as well, but I was charging them today. So as far as sockets, pretty basic. Quarter-inch SE, shallow deep, metric, shallow deep. This is that set that I got in that big cordless tool set. These are the semi-deep impacts. I really like this set because these are a lot of, this is 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18. I wish this was a 19, but eventually I might substitute it out just by a 19 semi-deep and put it in there instead of the 18 because I really don't use that a whole lot. But I can just grab this whole roll, my 3/8 impact, and you're good to go. You got everything right there. You don't have to, try and guess or pull. I don't know all the sizes yet, so pulling out a whole socket reel or whatever, go to the job. That makes it a lot easier, and it's magnetic. You just stick it on and go. These are pretty much the only snap-on sockets I have. This is like the first set I bought. This is the deep I believe it was 8 to 19, and then I had a 7 from I think a Blue Point set I bought. Yeah, I bought the 3/8 Blue Point set. So I believe that's what some of these are. Actually, these should be, some of these, oh yeah, the SAEs are snap-on too. I got that from my grandfather. Was fortunate enough to get a decent amount of tools from other people when I first started, so that's always good. So yeah, this is kind of standard somewhat on this side, and then metric on this side is for quarter 3/8, 3/8 impact, 3/8 standard impact. This is the Matco ADV. That's a great set too, because you get shallows, deeps, metric, and standards all in one. They give you an extension and a universal. So that's actually a great thing too. 1/2 inch stuff, I might eventually take these out of here and just put what I need in there, and put the rest of my bigger box, just because this does take up a lot of room I could be using for something else. But these are all cheapies. All my 1/2 inch impacts are cheapies. I don't use them on a day-to-day basis, so if they break, I can buy a whole row or whole set of new ones for the price of one, tool truck 1/2 inch. And like I said, I haven't really had any problems with these yet. At the dealership, I've used them quite a bit. Some of these are pretty beat up, especially like 7/8, but they work fine. I recommend 1/2 inch. If you don't use them a whole lot, just buy Harbor Freight or Craftsman or something else, because at the end of the day, the warranty, depending where you go, is the same. And if you're not using it on a day-to-day basis, those 1/2 inch ones are insanely expensive. Buy quality 3/8 stuff for the most part. That's what you use a lot of, and even some of the 1/4 inch and stuff like that. But other than that, you can kind of cheap out. Excuse me, I got my 1/2 inch impact laying on the ground. So this is, yeah, like I said, this is kind of messy too, but I somewhat recently changed this. I wish it was more organized. I need some kind of holder to mount these extensions and stuff on, so they're not sliding all over the place every time I close the drawer. But I got my 3/8 extensions in here, a couple 1/2 inch extensions, my old 1/2 inch ratchet that I got from my great uncle, excuse me. Icon, I don't know if there's circular head or what the name is, I guess, right now off the top of my head for this, but I've used this a couple times, don't really have much of a use for it. I actually traded some sockets, a set of chrome snap-on sockets that I had to my coworker, some semi-deeps, and then traded them for this ratchet. So go-to ratchets would be the 2 snap-ons, the 3/8 flex head. That was one of the first purchases I made. And then this 1/4 inch straight. So I do need a couple more ratchets. This set I got with my grandfather too, with those SAE shallow set. I got a pen, Sharpie, Teflon tape, another Sharpie, and you can kind of see what it is, paint marker and stuff like that. This drawer, I got this rack from my coworker. So plier drawer, got the 3-piece snap-on set. The Mac, that was for the 2 long reach ones that came in that kit, and then some Matco hose pliers. And then I got my big channel locks, some brake tool kits there, small side cutters, and then my 2 Matco crimpers. So this drawer, this is the expensive drawer, as you can see. I normally have my snap-on light in here too, but I got my 3/8 ratchet, my long reach 3/8 ratchet, 3/8 impact, which obviously you can see I use quite often, all these. And then my bit driver, which I don't use too often, but it's there when I need it. So I had a 1/4 inch ratchet and then this 3/8 ratchet, and I was going to trade this one in, but I decided I don't use the 1/4 as much. So I traded in the 1/4 for this long reach, and I cannot complain at all. Just because I couldn't use my 1/4 inch my cordless ratchets very often, just because I couldn't get into the places I needed to. So I said, I need a long reach. So I traded in for this, and I barely even use this normal one anymore, because this is just way more practical. More leverage to break things loose. It still works as an actual ratchet. So I highly recommend them. I mean, Milwaukee's obviously cheaper. It's what my coworker has. I got on the Snap-on road, and I didn't want to change everything and lose all money on trading it in and buying new tools and batteries and stuff. So next drawer is wrenches. So I got Blue Point ratcheting metrics, Blue Point standard ratchetings. One of the first things that I guess I've said this 5 times. One of the first things I bought. Snap-on wrench set, 10 to 19. I think practically like everyone has this set. I mean, it's the most common. And then recently I picked up this set too from Matco. It was about $250 plus cheaper, I think, than the Snap-on set. And I think you got one extra wrench. I think it's like quarter up to 15/16. The Snap-on one goes up to an inch. I use an inch quite a bit, so it would be nice to have it. But you can always buy those smaller quantity, bigger size wrench sets. But these, I've been using these Matco ones quite often because I use standard a lot in this industry, working on forklifts and stuff. So instead of borrowing my coworkers all the time, I needed to get my own set. He had these on sale, but they're like a 12 point. They're supposed to go up to, I don't remember what it was, like 30% rounded off, something like that, fasteners. They work great. They compare very well as far as feel and grip and you know, everything to like a Snap-on. So definitely recommend these, and they're a lot cheaper. Like I said, I have these 3 in front just kind of laying here, the 5/8, 11/16, 3/4, just the 3 most common I use. And then the last drawer is kind of miscellaneous stuff too. My multimeter Blue Point bit set, which is a very good kit. This is only like $70. And for air boxes and just random stuff at the dealership, this thing was amazing. I still use it once in a while here, but not too often. Probably could put that in my other box. But I got my multimeter here, just a fluke. I actually got this from my grandfather as well. He didn't need it anymore, so he said take it, and I said all right. I got the master punch and chisel set, since I do use this a lot. I mean, it was $500, but you know, it comes with everything that I need, and it lays nice in the drawer here, doesn't take up a whole lot of room. And then a couple hammers, small mallet, and then my most used is the 30, I think this is the 30, or is it 30? Yeah, 32. But like I said, I need to get that smaller proto set off Amazon, and then I'll probably put those in here. And then the most common pry bars and stuff that I use, Harbor Freight one stuff. So. And then my 1/2 inch impact usually goes in that bottom drawer as well. So that's about it. As far as toolbox tours go, if you guys like it, let me know. If you could change anything or any recommendations, I appreciate it. Figured I'd give you guys a look at what I'm working with, and kind of, oh yeah, I have my drain plug magnet painting here. Wish my coworker gives me shit for using that, but saves your hands from getting all full of oil, and when you did oil changes 8 hours a day, it was great to have. So, but anyways, that's about it. Just figured I'd show you guys kind of what I'm working with. Like I said, any tips or whatever you guys have, feel free to send them my way, comment below. But that's what I'm working with right now. So thanks for watching again, and enjoy.